Talk to the boss. About 14 years ago, I was working IT for a large medical center, one of several owned by the same people. The regional CIO personally put me in charge of setting up and issuing laptops to doctors and other medical staff to go to patients' homes when they could no longer come to the hospital for any number of reasons, including disability, lack of adequate transportation, etc. When we got a new shop supervisor, who was only promoted to that position exactly 1 year to the day after being hired from the outside, something that left myself and a lot of the other IT techs very upset, he made it abundantly clear that he was going to make several people's lives miserable, including me. He'd look at my Outlook calendar. We all had to share access to our calendar with him to see when I had someone scheduled to pick a laptop up, do their 3-month software update, etc. Then a few minutes before the person was supposed to arrive, he would order me to do some menial project halfway across the hospital that he could have just as easily done himself, or delegated to one of the new people. If I tried to tell him that I had an appointment, he'd threaten to write me up for insubordination. Cue malicious compliance. One day, the regional CIO was due for his 3-month update. Right on cue, the shop supervisor tasked me with unboxing, then installing monitors on the first floor. About 15 minutes later, when the regional CIO arrived, he called to ask that I return to the office. I headed back up right away. The shop supervisor didn't know and never met the regional CIO, so the shop supervisor had no clue who he was dealing with. When I arrived, the CIO asked the shop supervisor to leave the room. He asked me what was going on, since I was always punctual and thorough, to a fault. I told him about the shop supervisor making several of the lives of anyone he disliked miserable, with reassigning trouble tickets in multiple random floors at the last second, just as they had projects scheduled, or in my case, as I had appointments close to arriving for the laptops. The CIO even asked why the shop supervisor always seemed to be out of the office most times the director came up and could never get him on the phone. I just told the truth. He's been much too busy chasing skirts and shooting the breeze with his friends, sir. When the CIO asked if the shop supervisor had a girlfriend on the side, my response was, which one? He has us too busy running around to count them. He told me to wait outside the office for a few minutes and brought the shop supervisor back in to have a come to Jesus moment with him. The shop supervisor was put on 90 days unpaid suspension and was written up for gross insubordination for talking back to him, among other things. The CIO even asked HR to start an investigation to see what other department regulations he violated.